Yes, it's John G. Sutton here. I'll talk a little bit about celebrities in prison today. Uh, Wormwood, Scrubs and Strangeways. Uh, the Scrubs, yeah, it's a little known fact here that two of the Rolling Stones, I believe it was Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, got banged up in the Scrubs for possession of drugs. This had been in the 60s, around about 66, 67, before I joined. But there were staff there who were notoriously known for cutting their hair. Because in those days, when you went into the Scrubs, you weren't allowed to have a dangly hair like this. And that's what they did. They would hold them down and cut them. I don't know if any of you have heard that little rhyming song. Cut it long, cut it short, cut it with a knife and fork. Yeah? Well, shouldn't laugh. Yeah, that's what they used to do at the Scrubs. If they come in with long hair, there'd be a couple of the big boys there. Hold them down. Somebody would get a fork, stick it into the side of their head, turn it round so that all the hair wrapped around it, yeah? Then they get a knife and rip. That's what they did. You ask him, Mick Jagger, did he enjoy his stay in Wormwood Scrubs? I believe they were held in the hospital unit. The hospital unit was at least remotely civilised. I mean, in them days, you get yourself stuck on C wing, which was a general reception wing. Yeah, anything could happen there. George Davis, who was something of a celebrity in his time, he was on C2 landing, around about C258, C260, something like that. Yeah, you ask George Davis. He's still alive, I believe. Yeah, he was there. Remember George Davis? George Davis is innocent. Even got Roger Daltrey wearing that shirt. You know, Roger Daltrey, the lead singer of The Who, yeah? They had him wearing that shirt on stage. George Davis is innocent. I met George Davis, and he was a friendly guy, despite the fact that I was a screw, and when I said get in your cell, you got in your cell. But I wasn't aggressive with George Davis or anybody else, unless I had to be. I wouldn't lay hands on people unless I had to. I mean, you wouldn't, would you? Can you imagine going in there 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, grabbing older people and throwing them around? You can't do that. Drive you mad. You've got to go in there and be a bit reasonable. I was reasonable with George Davis, and he was telling me, he said, listen, the bastards fitted me up. That's the squad, the Sweeney. So they fitted him up for these burglaries and armed robberies and all that. They planted his blood sample on that's what he said. And of course, subsequently, he was released. But there was demonstrations all over the UK. George Davis is innocent. It was plastered on bridges. They dug up the cricket pitch at Headingley in Leeds. Yeah, when they were having the English tour against Australia, I believe it was. Cricket, dug up the cricket pitch at Headingley. And some people climbed up trees, I believe it was in Hyde Park. Climbed up trees, naked, climbed up trees. Yeah, I don't know if it was just because of George Davis or if they wanted to show the wedding tattle to the world. But up they went, yeah, and it was in all the papers. Anyway, he subsequently got out, but he was telling me, he said, they fitted me up, the bastards. He said, but listen, he said, I've been bang at it since I was a teenager. And he said, that's what I do for a living. He's a crook. Well, of course, they knew about that, so they fitted him for the job. But he said, I didn't do that job. And he subsequently was released. And then, in time, he went back to trade, sawn off shotguns, all the rest of it. Yeah, back into the prison. Yeah. As I mentioned before, I met Jimmy Tibbs, who was doing 10 years for attempted murder. I believe it was in a pub called the Black Boy. Yeah, and his family were all arrested at the same time. His father and a couple of brothers, and Jimmy Tibbs as well. He's gone on to do wonderful things now. And his son's a marvellous trainer as well. So it was just an unfortunate incident. I'm sure he was just dragged into that. There was time where they said that the Tibbs family were going to replace the Cray twins, but no, they weren't. And it was an unfortunate incident. But apparently the landlord of the Black Boys had 85 stitches in him. So if it was a reasonable attempt at murder, I would say. I'm not sure if Jimmy Tibbs did that or not, but he was involved. Anyway, at Strangeways, we had a guy on there who's quite famous now for selling antiques. Yeah, he looks a bit orange when I see him on television now. You must know what I'm talking about, but I won't mention his name because, I mean, he's done his time, and he was a cheerful chappy when he was on E3 landing. I remember him. I think I got him to be the cleaner on E3, which he enjoyed, and he was a happy guy. He wasn't aggressive or anything like that. Don't know what he'd done, never bothered asking him. Get on with it, you know, and because if you do that, you know, then they can rehabilitate themselves. It's not being held over them for the rest of their life. Yeah, so he was good with that. Of course, the other infamous or famous celebrity we had in Strangeways was Ronnie Pickering. You heard him, Ronnie Pickering. What's my name? Ronnie Pickering. Yeah, great bloke. Yeah, he sends me messages on here sometimes. Oh, Ronnie, here's a call out for you, mate. You're famous. At one time, the most famous man in Great Britain. Ronnie Pickering. Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. Hope you're enjoying my little shows here. Yeah, give you a mention there because you really are. You don't realise it, but you really are famous. Could have been on Big Brother as well, I believe, but you declined it. Yeah, I wouldn't go on there as well, eating frogs and what have you. I've got a frog here if you want. You can eat that bastard for me. Yeah. You don't bet you think John's taking the piss, don't you? Ah, I'm serious. There you go. There you go. Ronnie's frog. Yeah. In fact, from now on, that's the name of my frog. Ronnie. How you doing, Ronnie? What's my name? It's Ronnie Pickering the Frog. Seriously, I'm a great admirer of your work. Seriously. Anyway, I know that a lot of people complain about my singing, which it isn't singing, it's ripping the piss. Let's be perfectly honest. And here I'm going to rip the piss out of this song. But no, somebody specifically requested this. They said that they lay in bed at night, dreaming of sunny beaches and sangria and Jack Daniels with a lady by their side, and they want to hear my singing. They made a specific request for this very lovely song. I think it was made famous by Tom Jones, and it's The Green Green Grass of Home. I'm going to do my best to returf it. Here we go. The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me is my mama and papa. Down the road I look, and there runs Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to meet me, arms reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. The old house is still standing, though the paint is cracked and dry. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. Down the lane I walk with my sweet Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Then I awake and look around me at 4 grey walls that surround me, and I realize, yes, I was only dreaming. For there's a garden, there's a sad old padre. On and on we'll walk at daybreak. Again I'll touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to see me in the shade of that old oak tree, as they lay me 'neath the green, green grass of home. There you go. I dug it up for you. The green, green grass of home. Tales from the jails. John G. Sutton. Like, and click on the subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.